I put it right.
No, you can't go.
Hey guys, my name is Mathew Williams. We're going to be talking about large-scale 3D printing. So large-scale 3D printing is it's often referred to as additive manufacturing. It's rapidly evolving technology that has potential to revolutionize various industries from construction to automotive to aerospace. 3D printing construction techniques has been increasingly and developed over recent years. Applications for large-scale 3D printing is construction, automotive, aerospace, like furniture and stuff, art, sculptures, and prototyping. This picture is a 3D printed boat. Some of the materials that are used for large-scale 3D printing is concrete, polymers, plastics, metals, and also composites. As you tell in the picture to the right, this is printing aluminum. So some advantages of large-scale 3D printing: it helps lower material consumption, less waste, faster building times, higher productivity, and lower need for labor, and able to produce geometric designs. Some of the disadvantages is, you're limited to material selection. It is improving with the material selection, with newer technologies that are being developed every day. You're also limited to print size, and it'd be higher initial investment costs because a lot of machine and stuff costs a lot of money, and you need a high-tech expertise that knows how to create G-code and everything else. And sometimes the surface finish can be visually unappealing, so you kind of have to work around that. And building custom codes is, for unique designs. NASA uses large-scale 3D printing a lot. They're creating like fake Martian-like habitats using 3D printing, housing to prepare, preparation for astronauts and future Mars missions. These buildings will be dedicated for medical stations, workstations, food growing, and living quarters. To the right is kind of like a demonstration of how these are being put together. I think they're also building these out in Arizona, and they're testing them out in the environment to see how it performs. And they're making them live in it for like a few months, which is pretty interesting. Also back at this part, when I was at Kennedy Space Center back in 2019, I went to Swamp Works, and they were actively starting to build these using plastic bottles and sand to make this, the materials they were mostly using to make these, which was pretty interesting. And I think they're also going to be using it to bring to like Iraq and stuff, to build housing and stuff as well. Relativity Space uses large-scale 3D printing as well. That's where they build most of their rockets. Additive manufacturing technology is cutting the cost by 95% by 3D printing rockets compared to traditional rocket building, where using vertically integrated robots, software, and various patents, 3D printing technology, and their rockets are completely 3D printed. And I think at the beginning of this year, they did launch a rocket that was fully 3D printed, and it was fully successful as well, which was very impressive because it's not easy to do that. So Relativity, Rocket Lab, and SpaceX, they all use some of this stuff. Relativity Space is the company that aims for mainly 3D print. Their Terrain 1 rocket is designed, which is about 95% 3D printed parts. Rocket Lab, their Rutherford engines use the Electron rocket, which are mainly 3D printed, and then SpaceX uses some 3D printed stuff for their superdragon thruster chambers, which is pretty impressive. I think they use powder beds to kind of help 3D print those, which is very interesting. In summary, with further developments in technology, push for 3D printing. 3D printing will lower cost materials consumption and print will include more complex designs as well. And here are some of my references that I've used for some of this stuff as well. Also, I don't have PowerPoint, but like my capstone presentation, we're using metal technology, which is an additive manufacturing, and it also 3D prints metal. I know a lot of the military uses that to make like basket cases for tanks and stuff like that, which is